public library to Sacramento County and the world. It is the Tween Comic Book Club. This month, they're discussing Superman Smashes the Klan. Let me introduce your hosts, Caitlin and Lindsay, and special guest, Jameson. Take it away, gang.
Thank you, Nathan. Hello, friends. Welcome to our Tween Comics Club this month. We're so excited to be talking about Superman Smashes the Klan, which, if you have read it with us, you will know it's a pretty awesome graphic novel. Before we get into it, though, we just have a few quick announcements of library things that you may not have known about. So first off, very exciting, is that most library branches are now open to patrons. You may not have heard that. I think we've got 20 of our branches that are now open. So come on in. They're usually open from Tuesday through Saturday, 9 to 6. You can come back, say hi to us, get some books. We'll be looking forward to seeing you. Next, my other very exciting announcement is that if you're joining us on Facebook, if you have been joining us on Facebook for the past several months, we're so happy about that. But if it's easier for you to go on YouTube, we now have access to our YouTube channel. We wanted to tell people about that because sometimes it's a lot easier to go on YouTube than it is on Facebook. So you are welcome to join us either on Facebook or YouTube going forward. Our friend Jameson here, who is our special guest of the month, since Mr. Nate was unable to join us from now on. Sad. We will miss him greatly, but we're so excited to have Jameson here. Jameson is also starting an adult comics club. If you're a grown-up or you have a grown-up who likes comics, it is called Grown-Ups Unite. And next month, they will be discussing March Book 1, which is one that we've mentioned before in our read-alikes. It's an awesome book. So, grown-ups, that's a great opportunity to get more comics in your life. And as always, we will have an art activity at the end. So this month, what we were doing is, in the story, Roberta's mom makes her a jacket from Superman's cape. So our art activity is, what would you make or what would you create from Superman's cape if you were going to convert it into something else? And we want you to draw it out and we'll see at the end what you come up with, what we might have come up with. So that's it. As always, please write any comments, questions in the chat box for us. We will get to those. And now let's go to our icebreaker. So our icebreaker for today is, there's this kind of mantra for Superman, this like everyone knows or most people know, like that word in the comic cartoons. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna all try and say this mantra. Okay, we all have it memorized, I think, I hope. All right, Caitlin, why don't we start with you?
Okay.
Let's see.
Okay. Faster than a gerbil on a wheel. More powerful than that weird plastic stuff that covers electronics. Able to jump over Lego blocks on the ground in a single leap. It's Superman.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
I'm not sure that was exactly what was on the cartoon.
Oh.
Let me give it a shot and then we'll see if Jameson
Good idea.
can do it as good as me because, you know, I've got
We'll
it.
try.
I've got it. Okay. Faster than a speeding ostrich. More powerful than that strongman guy who wears his underwear on the outside. And can leap over a very high leaping kangaroo.
Good job.
I think that was it. What about you, Jameson?
Yeah, Jameson, we gotta hear it.
What do you got?
Oh man, faster than a speeding frog over a lake. Powerful than a, let's see, what starts with an L? More powerful than a lobster in the ocean. Leap entire oceans in one swoop.
Wow.
Very nice.
That was powerful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think maybe one of those is right. I don't know. What do you guys think, readers? Did we nail it?
Did we get it right? Let us know.
Let us know.
Yeah.
We need to know.
I feel like we've all nailed it though. Like
I do too. Like,
yeah,
like I say, it's all about the performance. You know.
Yes.
All right. So, Caitlin, why don't we go to you next?
Okay.
Can you tell us a little bit about this awesomeness of a book?
yeah, I'd love to. I love bragging about the comic books because this one is epic. So this is Superman Smashes the Klan by Jean Luen Yang, who is a genius. And the year is 1946. And the Lee family has just moved to Metropolis, which is home to the Daily Planet, a really cool newspaper, and home to the famous Superman. Yeah, he's there. And Roberta Lee is this young, I'd say tween. So she's like a tween comic club reader, tween age. She's really nervous about moving to Metropolis because she doesn't know how to make friends. She feels like she doesn't really fit in. And it's hard too because her brother Tommy makes it look so easy. He joins the baseball team right away. He's making friends and he doesn't let the racism that sometimes comes at their family really affect him. It doesn't seem to affect him, at least not to Roberta. And then something really terrible happens as they're trying to adapt. The KKK, this racist, horrible hate group, terrorist group, targets their family because they look different and they are a hate group and they start targeting the Lees. And when Superman saves them from a terrifying attack, Roberta and Superman actually form a bond. They like pair up because they realize they both have powers and unique abilities that they're trying to hide. And they're hiding them because they're trying to fit in. But these two unlikely partners, as they start trying to fight this evil that is threatening Metropolis and their families, they're trying to come to terms with how if they should keep hiding these powers anymore. And you have to find out if they come to terms with that by reading the book because it's so good. That's Superman Smashes the Klan. So everyone, check it out. And if you have read it, get ready because we have a lot to talk about today. It's very exciting.
Yes, we sure do. Thanks, Ms. Caitlin. That was an awesome book talk. So I'm actually going to hand it back over to you because you are going to be our discussion moderator today. So what questions you got for us today?
I have many, but we have to keep it short and sweet. So Lindsay, my first question is for you. And readers, if you have any deep thoughts, comments, or concerns about this graphic novel, this comic book, let us know. If you're confused by something, let us know. We want to talk with you as well. This discussion is for everyone. But Lindsay, my question for you right now is, though Superman and Roberta are very different, in what ways are they able to empathize with each other?
Well, that's a great question. Because one of the things I really loved about this graphic novel was this really unexpected connection and understanding that Superman and Roberta had, like you were talking about in your book, Caitlin. Because on the one hand, they're really, really different. Superman is the epitome of this classic hero figure. He's this strong white man with superpowers. And Roberta is, a Chinese American girl who is at 12 has already faced a lot of racism and bigotry in her life. So they're very different. And on the surface, they don't seem anything alike. But I think Roberta has always felt like an outsider. She's the one who notices, because she felt that way, she's the one who notices Superman's insecurities and the feeling that he doesn't belong and like he's an outsider as well. Because he feels like he's always had to hide who he is or he'll be rejected. But Roberta, she can't hide the fact that she's an Asian girl now living in this very white dominated city facing a lot of racism. So she knows how Superman feels because she's always felt that way. But she also realizes that in not embracing who he truly is, he may be accepted, but he's also limiting himself. But the funny thing is, I think Roberta also sees that she's limiting herself too by always trying to fit into what other people want her to be instead of who she truly is. And when she embraces who she is, she's also able to see that she can be a hero too, just like Superman.
Oh, that's great. I love that they're these unlikely partners in this story. But it makes sense because Roberta is so cool. I want to be her friend.
Yes.
Right?
She's my favorite in this story, like way more than Superman.
I just thought it was really cool how, Superman like picked her to, like they're gonna have a friendship. Like
Yeah.
Superman doesn't pick anyone as a friend,
Yeah, it was great. They were kindred spirits for sure. And it's because Roberta is so cool and she stands up for what she believes in. And it's great answer. Thanks, Lindsay.
Thank you.
All right. Well, now I have a question for you, Jameson.
Okay.
All right. So the story of Superman Smashes the Klan takes place in 1946, which is the year the original story this comic was derived from aired on a radio series, which is like old school podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
Though many things have changed since 1946, what type of challenges did Roberta and Tommy face in this story that kids are still facing today? And in what ways were Roberta and Tommy able to deal with those hardships?
Well, like Lindsay mentioned, unfortunately, we're still dealing with a lot of racism and classism in terms of people being treated differently for how they look or how they perceived people think they look. And I think they did a good job of trying to befriend those people. They weren't trying to be antagonistic. They weren't trying to, give that negative energy back to them. They gave them all the good vibes. They tried to give them with kindness and try to be as accommodating as they could. And I thought actually the interactions, especially with I can't remember the character's name, the character that works with his dad in the KKK, I actually thought that was really interesting and conflicting because he's in between, working with the KKK and what he has known as experience growing up with his dad versus these new people who are in town, and he's getting conflicting information. He really doesn't know what's going on. And I think not only the Roberta and her brother, but also the kid that was involved with the KKK, I really liked the conflicting information in the story. I thought it brought a lot of drama to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's lots of drama for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I also, Tommy and Roberta, they have to encounter just, casual, microaggressions we talked about.
Yes.
Just these stereotypes that don't make any sense or don't apply to them. Roberta sees Tommy try to use them for laughs, but she's very astute and calls it out when it happens. So I also saw that as a very interesting kind of examination too.
Right. And I think you can parallel that today when you see something negative going on, speak up, put yourself in those situations because sometimes people may not be able to speak for themselves.
Exactly.
I feel comfortable enough to speak and say, hey, I don't like what you're doing. I feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, I know. It was great when Jimmy Olsen, the photographer, he
Yes.
he stood up for the Lee kids. That was great. That was a good example of trying to be someone who just recognizes racism, just bigotry, and does the right thing in the moment. So there's some good examples in there too. Yeah.
Right.
Thanks.
It's hard to remember too sometimes that this took place in 1946. So which major event was going on? World War II.
Mhm.
Most of us, any of us, obviously didn't live through. So it's hard sometimes to get that context. And I think this comic really gives that historical background of how people were being treated at the time, just because of the information that people were learning about. And still, unfortunately, today we still have those ignorant information out there, and people will treat you differently because of that. So I think this comic does a great job of showing that, unfortunately, these things are still here and they're prevalent, but it's our job to identify and work on those things together.
Yeah, that's great. Well, our last question is for everyone, for all of us. We've been asked to pick a panel because this is a graphic novel and it's beautiful and full of just incredible art. And so we were supposed to pick our favorite panel from the comic and then just, kind of give a blurb about why we think it's so rad. And I will start with my panel. You can see Roberta is sleeping. Superman has just gifted her his cape, which, I mean, that's amazing. And she's using it as a blanket, but her sweet mom sees that she can actually fashion it into a jacket for Roberta, the jacket that she ruined because she threw up over her last one. Because she gets motion sickness, poor Roberta. But I think this panel is just exquisite because it shows how Superman is just this like symbol of strength and safety and nobility. And, you know, Roberta feels safe with it. Her mother recognizes that and she transforms it into a jacket so she'll always feel safe. Mm-hmm. And I just think that's like such a great shout out to how Superman is this, you know, epic pop culture icon, and everyone feels this like kind of like special connection with him. And that's like the power of comics. Like everyone recognizes Superman and feels safe. And I think that's great. It connects everyone. And yeah, comics are just incredible. That's why I love this panel so much. All right, who's next? Jameson, do you want to tell us about your panel?
Sure, I'll go ahead and do mine. I think actually mine is one of the more interesting panels in the graphic novel. I'll go ahead and show it too. I have a physical copy in front of me here too, just in case you can't see it.
Yeah.
But this page here. And for me, I think the most interesting thing about this panel is actually from the end perspective of Superman himself. There's a lot of panels where he's thinking out loud, or you see the word bubble he may be thinking, but this one's actually like from his own introspection, and he's using X-ray and everything looks like glass, which for me, that's really hard to visualize. And I thought this panel did a fantastic job of, he's using this X-ray vision or this skill that he has that he can see everything looks like glass, so he could find the body that's in the river. I just thought that was a fantastic visual, and I love the colors too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That X-ray kind of blue and white. It's it's eerie, but it's also just, you know, it's like a really cool color combo. I agree, and you wouldn't think that it would come across so vividly, but yeah, I love that panel. That was a good pick. X-ray vision too. I mean, yeah, Superman has all the powers.
Right? Sometimes I think that'd be cool to like just list everything that he can do.
Yeah, I know. I mean, readers, if you know all of his powers and can list them, let us know. Like, type it in the chat. We want to know all of his powers. That's a lot. I wonder what it looks like when he has laser vision. That would be cool. To do that next. Yeah. I would love that. Okay, sorry, getting off track. All right, Lindsay. Lindsay, tell us about the panel you selected.
Okay, so my panel is shown there. It's the one with Roberta in the movie theater watching the movie. So that's pretty much, you know, what is happening in terms of the story. But I love this sequence so much because it's telling us so much in just 3 panels. Which to me, when you can impart so much information in just the visuals, like that's the mark of a great graphic novel to me. So please bear with me, readers, because I'm gonna have to nerd it out a bit here. I just love this so much. Okay, so let's start with the second panel in the middle there. So you've got Roberta watching this movie, and on the surface, it's just this action movie, right? So you've got your action hero, white male action movie star. And then you've got the woman who's on the floor in the corner, kind of cowering, like she's the villain or like the damsel in distress. So the hero's got to come and save her, of course. She can't save herself. She's the damsel. And then you've got the villain, who's this very stereotypically portrayed Asian character. And so now you've got Roberta watching this. And what this movie is telling her is that she can be the villain or she can be the damsel, but she can never be the hero. Heroes don't look like someone like her. And so now let's go back to that first panel. So then you've got Roberta sitting in this big theater completely alone. And the scene before, Roberta had walked into the theater with her Unity House friends. And then she ran into some former friends from when she lived in Chinatown. But neither of those groups really accepted her. So here she is, sitting in this huge theater with 2 groups of friends and neither one of them accepting her and feeling like she doesn't belong anywhere. And then she's watching this movie that's telling her that she always going to be either a victim or an outsider. So then we go to that third panel that's like a close-up of her face. And when I look at it, I can just see all those emotions and all those thoughts swirling through her mind and weighing her down, even if it's not actively, if she's actively aware of it. And all of this information is being shown to us in just 3 panels on 1 page, which is just so amazing. So I love it.
And that's the power of visual storytelling.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, talk about, you could like write a whole book report
I would
just
like
on
to.
1 page.
I would like to.
So, graphic novels, comic books are so good for you, everyone. You hear it here all the time, but librarians are gonna champion them forever, because just what Lindsay just said, like that conveys so much, so many themes, so many heartbreaks too. Oh my gosh.
And another note, if you ever come to the library and there's a title or graphic novel that we don't have, ask us to buy it. We will definitely try to get it for you.
Oh my gosh, completely. Yeah, exactly. Because we are such big comic book fans. And wow, great choice, Lindsay. That was awesome.
Love that.
Yeah, and if you have a favorite panel or like just a favorite image or a character even, go ahead and type it in the chat. Let us know, because there's so much to talk about with this book. We don't have enough time. Like there's just so much. Like we could go Tween Comic Book Club on this like forever, but that's the discussion. Thank you so much, everyone. Good work.
Thank you, Caitlin. So let's move on to the section I know you all have been waiting for, which is the trivia. So today, Caitlin is going to battle it out with Jameson. Okay, are you two ready?
Yes.
Ready. Okay.
Yeah, I was born ready.
You're ready. You're born ready. Okay, that's what I like to hear. Okay, question number 1. What has the power to weaken Superman? Is it A, broccoli, B, a mysterious green rock from outer space that is called kryptonite, or is it C, potato cat?
Okay. I'm leaning towards broccoli, because if Superman gets broccoli in his teeth, Lois Lane is going to be like, dude, what's up? Don't you floss? And that would be his weakness, because he loves Lois Lane so much. But what's a potato cat? Jameson, is this like a potato that looks like a cat?
I mean, it could be a sentient cat or sentient potato that looks like a cat too, in reverse.
That's a nightmare. Oh my God, no. That's my weakness, not Superman.
Or a cat that eats exclusively potatoes.
Oh, I like that. That's helpful. Yeah. Readers, I wonder if you know the answer. Do we have any readers who have weighed in?
Yeah, we have on Facebook we have a lot of answers.
Okay.
All for B.
Really?
B.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? The thing is, I have to go with my gut. I believe it is A, broccoli, because the teeth situation.
Yeah. Okay, Jameson, what do you think?
I'm gonna have to go with B, even though broccoli is green. I think the color of the rock that is his weakness is also green. So I think I'm gonna go with B.
You would be correct. As our readers, the answer is B, though, Caitlin, I loved your rationale. I found it very convincing personally. Okay, but the answer is B, the mysterious green rock, kryptonite. Great job to all of our correct answers. Okay, so we're on to question number 2 now. Question number 2, Lois Lane hires Lanshin or Roberta for what job? Is it A, the pitcher for the Unity House baseball team, B, newspaper delivery person, or C, cub reporter? This is a tough one.
This is really tough.
What do you guys
Gosh.
Okay.
I'd be cub reporter. For some reason, that answer is just speaking to me. I'm not sure why, but it is.
What is a cub reporter?
I think a cub reporter is just like a section of the newspaper that they're reporting on.
Okay.
I believe the cub reporter, the technical definition, is a young person training to be a full reporter.
Ah.
I'm getting a thumbs up from our producers, so
Okay.
I'm feeling good about this answer.
So
Kind of like an intern.
yeah.
Ah, okay.
Reporter for the Daily Planet. Wait.
Planet.
Okay.
Correct.
That seems too right. So I think that the answer is because she can drive at this point, right? She's like 12, and like in 1946 you could drive. So I feel like she was delivering the newspapers. That sounds right. I mean, your silence speaks volumes to me. Do we have any do any of our readers or friends on Facebook or YouTube have any?
Yeah, so we have a couple of answers. I do want to point out that one of our viewers is trying to sway Caitlin and has written into the chat, Caitlin, vote A. We also have a couple answers for C.
Ooh.
Oh, interesting. Well, Caitlin, after that,
I have to say A.
The reader, I mean, is on a good track because you saw her pitch. She was really good at it.
Right.
Yeah, she's strong. She's fierce. She definitely has like triceps.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, reader. Thank you so much. Hey, thank you.
Okay, because I feel like there was some logic errors in your original answer. I don't think 12 was the legal driving age, and I don't think they drove to deliver newspapers at that time. I mean, historically, you know, they rode bikes, but I don't know. But anyway, the correct answer is C. It is a cub reporter for the newspaper.
It's so sad. They tried to change their vote for Caitlin, the reader, but it was too late. I couldn't get my microphone to work in time. I'm so sorry, Caitlin.
Oh shoot, that's okay. That's okay. I love the logic still. I feel like that was a good.
Glad I have some support. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, that's great. But you know what, Jameson, you've done it again.
Just on a roll today.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to question number 3.
All right.
Also a tough one, and my personal favorite, because this was my other favorite character in the book. One of the lead's new friends from Unity House imagines that Superman smells like what? Is it A, cinnamon buns, B, cotton candy clouds, or C, carrots?
Well, they all start with C, so there's that.
It's hard.
I'm gonna go with I don't know. Cinnamon sounds intriguing because Superman smells sweet like a cinnamon bun.
I mean, there's nothing like a smell of a cinnamon bun. But you know what? Carrots. I have a feeling because, he's strong and he definitely gets his vitamin A.
Right, because he does have the laser vision.
Yeah.
Exactly, his laser vision. So, and carrots help with your eye vision, your vision. Yeah. Oh, haha. Dibs on C for carrots. Do any of the readers have an answer?
They do. They're trying to persuade Caitlin again. This time to vote B.
Ooh.
B. So, just saying. And I also see a quote that unicorns don't smell good. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but just so you know.
It's actually that reader is very astute. Unicorns smell terrible. They actually smell like skunks, and yeah, it's not good. That reader, they're on their game, so maybe they're trying to say, no, skunks isn't an option. I don't know what to do.
They don't.
Oh man, I think that was from Lumberjanes, right? And
that's right. Yes.
Aha.
They didn't meet Superman in that, so
yeah.
No. It's tough. Okay. What did the reader sway you? What do you guys think?
You know what? I have to go with what the reader says, but I also I dibs carrots and I can't take that back. That's the law of dibs.
I will
I don't
allow.
know. We haven't talked about cotton candy clouds. That one's, I don't know.
That reader seems so
that
smart.
one.
Yeah.
Because that one's also sweet smelling. So I think that one makes a little more sense than a cinnamon bun.
Okay. Man, I really wish I could have said B, but I have to stay with C.
Okay. Readers, you are correct on that. It is cotton candy clouds. Karen, unfortunately incorrect. Readers are
It's so
honest.
specific too.
It really is. It really is. I love that little guy who keeps saying he's got to smell like cotton candy.
Candy. Oh, I wonder if he does, though. Does Superman smell like cotton candy?
Well, I
Well, we don't-
remember him saying them realizing later he does not. He smells like ashes, which is really sad.
Oh.
Disappointing.
Okay, that's depressing.
Talk about your heroes falling just by the smell.
Mhm.
Okay, wow. Well, Jameson, good game.
Thank you.
Good job.
Good job, everyone. All right. Well, why don't we go now to our art activity for the day? As we mentioned in the beginning, Lan Shin, or Roberta's mother, uses Superman's cape to create a snazzy jacket for you. So our question for you is, what would you do with Superman's cape? What would you like to draw and show us? We would love to see it. You can put it in the comments for us. And Caitlin, did you have anything, or you can even just tell us too? I forgot to mention that.
Oh, yeah.
You have an
So, I mean, if I had
Cape,
Superman's
what about-
cape and I had to transform it into something to wear or to keep with me always and, like, you know, just be really useful, I was like, oh, I know exactly what I would pick. I would transform it into super socks. Look at that. Look at that art. That is, yeah.
It's amazing. I
Okay,
would
so
love it.
first of all, they keep your feet nice and toasty. Second of all, you'll never lose them in the wash or dryer
Why?
because they're super socks. You can't lose these.
So would that work like kind of like Thor's hammer, that the socks would always come back to him?
Exactly. Thank you.
Nice.
That- just
Never
like
lose your
Thor's
socks.
hammer. Yeah, just like bing right on the foot. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
How did you get the logo so tiny? The logo was like really big.
Because Superman and Krypton and you know, super dog. That's why. It's a science, I swear. So obviously this is what you would do with Superman's cape. You would make socks out of it. I mean, what other, like, how else would you transform Superman's cape? This is the ultimate.
Okay, I have it. I love the super socks. I
Thank you.
really do.
Yeah.
I question a little bit of the science of making them, but I love them. This is what I would do though, because I don't know about you readers, but I love myself a good hoodie. And so I would transform it into this beautiful super hoodie.
Wow.
Logo, we got the pockets, we got a lot of material here.
Yeah.
Good. You even have a fleece lining. As you
Ooh.
Wonderful.
So we need a little extra fabric, but I think this is the ultimate super outfit here.
It'd be super cool if it fluctuated like the warmness based on the temperature outside.
You know it would.
Sweet.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. I love that.
Or it could like turn into like a rain jacket when it rains.
All the elements, it would adapt.
Absolutely.
And then randomly there'd be laser vision. We don't know why, but it would just happen.
Absorbs.
Lasers everywhere.
Yeah, so be careful with that. I really like that. That's a good idea, Lindsay.
Thank you. Thank you. What about you, Jameson? Do you have any ideas?
I don't have a drawing, but I think it'd be really cool to, for some reason, just take his cape and just have it almost be like almost like a Doctor Strange cape where it's like sentient, it can do things. Have it like clean my house and do chores and things like that. I
Hey,
think it'd be a good use.
I didn't know that was an option.
That'd be really cool.
It is now.
Don't get lost in the dryer.
Mine keeps you super warm.
That's pretty good. Do we have any readers' ideas?
Yeah. So the readers really like the jacket
Okay.
from the book,
Yeah.
and they want to do the same.
Okay.
As a disembodied voice with a microphone, I would make mine into a microphone cover. That's the only thing I can do. But we do have a question that I think I want to know the answer. Someone wants to know for Caitlin, I think, what if you're wearing flip-flops?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Ooh.
That's a great question, reader. But you know what? I would just wear the socks and the flip-flops. I would commit. I would do it. I know the socks so pop, but I would do it.
Or would the bottom of the socks be hard enough to be considered like a sock shoe?
Thank you, Jameson. Exactly. Boom. There. Answered.
Problem solved.
Yeah. Problem. Yeah.
Amazing. I love it. Okay, well, how about we move on now to, and please send us, if you do your art activity later, we would really, really love to see it. So please send it to us if you have
You
it.
can't just have this, guys. Like,
Oh, yes.
We would love to see it. All right, well, now let's move on to read-alikes. Caitlin, do you have any books that you thought readers might like if they enjoyed this book?
okay, so mine's kind of cheating because it's the ultimate read-alike because it's a book by Jean Luen Yang and the same artist that do Superman Smashes the Klan, but it is fantastic. It is Avatar: The Last Airbender: The Promise. And this is available. These are all available on Hoopla right now, instant download. It takes off right where the TV series ends, right away. Boom. Zuko has been crowned Flame Emperor and sorry, spoilers. But, it's right after the end. And it's just Aang and the gang, solving problems, being awesome and hilarious. And it's the story by Jean Luen Yang. So it's going to be amazing. And there's all these different themes and complications. And the art is just so easy to just dive into. And even if you don't really understand the Avatar world and airbending and earthbending and all that, you're going to love it because it's all about the characters that you just want to be their friends and hang out with them. So trust me, download it right away. Avatar: The Last Airbender. You won't regret it.
I hope to see this author and artist combo continue to make graphic novels too, because the two that they put out are fantastic.
Dream team. Yeah.
And before I go into my read-alike, I forgot to say who the artist was for the illustrator was for this. Their name is Gurihiru. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And their art is just wonderful. I love it so much. So I wanted to make sure to give them credit for their amazing artwork for this. I love it so much. Okay, so my read-alike for this book is one that you may be familiar with, readers, if you have been joining us for our comics club for a while. It's Green Lantern Legacy by Min Lei,
So good.
illustrated by Andy Tong. And this is a story that follows Tai, who loves comics and drawing, and his really amazingly awesome grandmother. But then his grandmother dies really suddenly, and he's just devastated, of course. But he finds out that he has inherited her powers as a Green Lantern, which is one of the intergalactic protectors of the universe. It's so awesome. Like Superman Smashes the Klan, it also follows an Asian American family, and it showcases the impact of racism on both individuals and communities. And it's also an action-packed superhero adventure. It's so good. So if you liked Superman Smashes the Klan, I highly recommend Green Lantern Legacy. And if you like that book once you've read it, take a look at our library Facebook page and watch our discussion of Green Lantern Legacy if you haven't watched it already. It was pretty fun. It was one of our earlier ones.
Yeah.
All right. Well, did we have any final questions or comments from YouTube or Facebook before we left?
I mean, I think the comment that I want to make sure that Caitlin hears is that you can temporarily dibs something. That was something that one of our readers wanted you to know, that in the future, instead of saying I dibsed it and being foiled by dibs logic, you could say, I'd like to temporarily dibs that. And then the readers are really looking out for you.
No, they're really thoughtful, and I appreciate that. Now I know. I didn't know that. I need to get on topic with that dibsing.
That's okay. That's gonna really help our future.
That will help me so much. Thank you so much, readers. Thank you. Yes.
The dibbing and the vibing.
The dibbing and the vibe. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Really
Wow. I appreciate that.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We had so much fun.
Our next Tween Comic Club is going to be on March 12th. Join us on YouTube or Facebook. And our book is going to be Snapdragon by Kat Lay. We're so excited. Caitlin and I so much. So this one, since our libraries are most of our libraries are reopened, we decided to choose a book that is not available on Hoopla this month. But you can get a physical copy of it from our libraries. We're still doing curbside pickup, or you can come on into our libraries. So I hope you guys can join us again next month, because we love this book and we're super excited about it. Well, I think that's all we have for you guys today. We hope to see you again soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.